What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today we're going to talk about Luke, a very, very powerful SS character. And there's quite a few things that's pretty awesome about the character, but there's also some things that aren't so great about the character. So let's dive into it, all right? Let's take a look at his kit and see what he has to offer. So he's got an amazing leadership for all balance type fighters with the increased attack by 40% and critical damage by 50%. So any character that hits hard, if they're a balance type fighter, they're going to hit even harder with this leadership. It's awesome that it applies to every single balance type fighter in the game. And also being a balance type fighter, you have a lot more defenses and HP than, say, an attack fighter, right? You're not going to have as much attack, but still, you'll find that this character is actually extremely strong and quite, well, I don't want to say easy to level up, but I think easier to level up than, say, an EX character, because you can actually get SS memories for this character in Guild Raid. That's something that's actually really nice about the fact that him and Bison are both SS characters. You can actually level them up throughout the game, right? You don't have to pull in the banner over and over. Once you get the character one time, if you're lucky enough in Guild Raid, you'll actually be able to get SS memories and level him up further on. He does have 30% PG rate, which is meta, guys. It allows him to go into his 3 PG a lot faster. The critical rate, the increased damage on by 30% on critical rate is awesome, especially because of his leadership. The increased critical damage by 50%. This is really, really nice. The blast skill and strike skill increase is really nice also. But this is the thing that's awesome and also kind of crappy about him, is that he has this insane Starlight explosion, which is godly, guys. I mean, anytime you see this 5.5 times explosion, it's godly as far as damage. The problem with it is it's in his core. So, like, whenever you're going against Lunatic Guild Raid against Omega, where you need to use Starlight, once you remove the Starlight, once he removes the Starlight, you're not going to be able to break the meter so fast because Starlight isn't being applied. As a striker, Luke's freaking awesome because he has a 10-second Starlight. That's actually amazing. But as a damage dealer, he actually removes it very, very quickly. And it's honestly quite annoying. Even though he does have Starlight on his first and second skill, it gets removed super, super fast, guys. It's only on a 1-second cooldown, so it's going to get removed very, very fast, and it's a lot harder to break the meter in Starlight. Now, if you're using Luke as a damage dealer in Guild Raid, you'll find that he'll do very, very well. He's a very powerful character, and again, if you use him as a striker for Lunatic against Guild Raid Omega, then he'll do actually really well because the Starlight will stay applied while you're using your other characters. But as a damage dealer, it's a bit annoying. If this was on his skills instead, if he had the explosion on his skills, you could dictate when you want to use the explosion and when you just want to apply Starlight and have that lasting Starlight effect, so that way you can break the meter a whole lot faster, say with another character, or even with Luke just using his basic attacks, or maybe using another skill that doesn't have dot explosion on a particular skill. But because it's in his core, you can't control when you're doing an explosion, and that's kind of a hinder to the character, at least as far as Guild Raid is concerned, whenever you need to apply Starlight. He does have a 40% chance to reset active skill cooldowns upon landing Sand Blaster, which is his first skill, and that's actually really good. He's got the PvP exclusive when attack, disable attackers' active skills. This is godly, guys, because anytime you're in PvP and you disable attackers' skills, they can't use their skills for that 3-second duration. And if Luke gets a hold of him, guys, he can pretty much one-shot him. I mean, he's strong. And then, of course, Street Fighter passive, which is just godly for all the Street Fighter characters. And then you get into his skills. He's got an increased attack by 60%. This is nutty, right? And he does apply Starlight for 12 seconds. However, again, remember that his explosion from his core removes it immediately. But it will deal a lot of damage. Like, say you're just spamming your skills and you're like, the meter's already broken on Guild Raid, right? And I'm focusing on Guild Raid because that's the most that's the most valuable game mode in the game, because that's where you can actually get BS and SS memories. And if you're using him for that, it's just always best to play him in a way to where you're using him only whenever Rugal's meter is broken or Nightmare Geese's meter is broken to do damage. And I'll show you guys how to do that here in a little bit. But then the deal started damage equal to 50% of attack is godly. The increased damage received is nuts. And then this is only unique to Luke. And as I showed you guys in a video a few days ago, Luke is nutty for time attack. He really is the best character in the game for it, because he decreased his skill cooldown of his 3 PG by 5 seconds whenever he lands a skill. That is nutty, my friends. The fact that he can do that means that he can just keep doing his 3PG over and over and over. He's delaying the timer in time attack, and time attack is where we can get a lot of rubies per week. So this is a character that is actually going to allow you to get a lot of rubies, and he's a strong enough character that you're actually going to be able to go into guild raid, and if you play him correctly, you're going to be able to do some pretty nutty damage with the character. Now his second skill does stun all the enemies for 1.5 seconds, and this is only on a 7-second cooldown. So anytime you're in PvP and you're facing opponents, he will be able to stun them. And of course, he still has the radiant damage for 12 seconds. It's awesome that it's 12 seconds. Like if you play him in a way where, say you got him as your damage dealer, and you apply the Starlight and you immediately switch to another character before the explosion happens, then you can still use his Starlight whenever you're using him as a damage dealer. But it's tricky to do that, guys, because the moment you lay in a skill after you apply the Starlight, because it's only on a 1-second cooldown from his core, he can actually remove it. So it is very tricky to do that. And then, of course, he's got an interrupt that's limited to standing and airborne. That's godly. And another increased target damage received. Having 2 increased target damage received is nutty on him. That's crazy. And then, of course, his hyper armor skill that gives him another increased attack by 60%. He has a 120% increase of attack on top of the 5.5 times explosion. So he is strong. Now, something I want you to notice is his cooldowns, 10.3, 10.7, 10.3. These are fairly long cooldowns, so you'll actually find when you're spamming his skills, you're not going to be able to go through your skills as fast as, say, other characters that have lower cooldowns. Even with max skill cooldown on your cards that you apply to this guy, you're still going to find that you can see like some slowness in as far as spamming his skills. Now, when it comes to imprint stones for this character, because he only has 1 dot, guys, there's a couple different ways you can go with him. You can either give him the Street Fighter stones, and you definitely want to go with attack stones, guys. You definitely want to go with attack for this character to really jump his Starlight Explosion. Or what you could do is, if you don't get these stones for whatever reason, although during this collaboration it's actually very easy to get these stones for a lot of these characters, if for some reason you can't get them, you could always equip some Starlight stones on the character. You could use gold stones that apply Starlight. So because he's a yellow character, you could go to yellow here, and you could give him this stone here that increases attack. It'll increase his Starlight, and it's going to increase the bounce type fighter. This is the perfect stone for him if you don't have the Street Fighter stones. And honestly, guys, when you bump up his Starlight damage, it's going to bump up his Starlight explosion. The more Starlight he has, the more explosion he's going to have. And that indicates to you guys exactly what stones you're going to have. So you could give him all gold stones in here for that. And then for his moon and star shaped stone, you could give him attack with Starlight. And if you have a gold stone that has Starlight increased attack, like this one here, I mean, this is still good, HP, Starlight. And for Balance Type Fighter, I mean, it's for a purple. But if it was for yellow, it would be godly for him. Now, when it comes to card sets for this character, the Merlin set's actually godly because it does increase his Starlight damage, guys. It's going to increase his explosion, something fierce. But you'll notice that the 1000 Blows set actually, click on this thing here, the 1000 Blows set increases active skill damage by 25%, which is nice, and increases attack by 20%, which is also nice, guys. I mean, it's a godly set, but you'll notice in the rush dungeons that this set that you actually get for free in the game will only increase burn, shock, and chill. So it's not going to be really an ideal set. The 1000 Blow set would actually be better for him. I think the 1000 Blow set, I mean, I haven't tested it, guys, because I don't have the set, but I'm pretty sure the 1000 Blow set will be the best for him. But we're going to be running the Merlin set because it's pretty godly on him. If you don't have either one of those sets, just slap an Akane on him or a Leah set and he'll be good to go. So the first thing I'm going to show you guys is how well he can do against Ryu. Now, against Ryu, the thing about this is, again, you're going to want to have dot to break the meter, and he does like do his explosion from his core, and it is a thing that hurts him quite a bit, guys. I mean, we do have 2 stones on him. He isn't just level 20, and he doesn't have any capsules on him, so keep that in mind whenever you're watching these runs. So what I should have done there, so as you guys can see, he is removing the Starlight, and it actually makes it a little bit harder for him to break the meter. right? But now you'll notice that he can put up some pretty serious damage because the meter is broken and he's just doing nutty damage. Now, what really sucks is that I just removed the Starlight. If I would have hit the Starlight and then just immediately went to my 3PG, that would have been better. So he does require quite a bit of gameplay, or good gameplay, guys, in order to get it done. Now, you see the Starlight still applied, but the moment we go into our skills, we're going to remove it. Well, actually, it's still engaged, which is great. All right, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, yeah. And there we have Starlight applied, and we're going to do our 3PG. Now, I could do my default, which does increase his attack, I believe, by 15%, if I remember correctly. And there we broke it. And that's kind of how you have to play him. Come on, here we go. And... but I mean, guys, he's freaking strong. I mean, look at the damage he's putting up. And you notice how I don't really get to go through my skills that fast. Now, you can help that by having a striker that has a decreased skill cooldown, which we will do for the guild raid run. Okay, there we go. And I want to leave that Starlight applied. Ryu getting crazy. But I mean, guys, I mean, we're almost at 600 million. Pretty nutty damage. And because it's a 12-second dot, like, it will just keep depleting the meter, which is pretty nice. Okay, so there the Starlight's still applied. We're hitting our 3PG while that Starlight's applied to hopefully break that meter down a little bit more. Oh, crap. Whoa! I freaking love Ryu, man, when he just goes, Hadouken! Every time I see it, guys, I just think it's awesome. There we go. Let's apply. Let's apply. Oh, crap. Damn it. Using my awakened skill. And... there we go. There we go. Perfect. And you saw how we did the explosion, and then we applied Starlight again, and we just used our basics, used our 3PG. We use our 3PG. I mean, this is a hell of a score, guys, honestly. For an A2 character, a level 20 character, this is actually pretty damn nutty. I mean, 880 million. And guys, I could have played that better, right? Again, every time you have Starlight applied, you got to let it keep applying, because once you do explosion, it removes it and then the meter doesn't break as fast. So he is a little tricky to play regarding this aspect of the character. So let me show you like how he does against Lunatic against Guild Raid, where you actually do need Starlight, right? We're going to use Ryu's leadership because it increases Street Fighter attack by 65%, right? And this is where, he does actually struggle a little bit, guys, because, again, he just keeps removing the Starlight explosion. Oh, yeah. Let's go. Okay. Oh. Now, it is a 12-second dot, which is nice. There we go. Perfect. And another thing about this character that kind of isn't the greatest is that he doesn't have a lot of survivability, guys. There we go. We applied Starlight, and we're just going to go do that 3PG. So that way we have the Starlight applied. But this is what I mean. It's really, really tricky to play with this character. There we go. There we go. Perfect, right? You can see, guys, he just doesn't do that well here because, one, he doesn't have the greatest survivability. He doesn't have a built-in shield like other characters. And, I mean, yeah, you're just going to die, right? If you try doing a solo with him. Now, let me show you how you really want to play him if you're going to use him in guild raid, right? Because he really is a super valuable character and very, very strong and can be used very easily for this. And we're going to actually go against Inferno. Now, he doesn't have the right dot for Inferno, which isn't a bad thing because, again, guys, he just keeps removing his dot. But we do need bleed and poison. Now, I mentioned in a video a while back how Chun-Li's amazing because she actually has the dots for both, Inferno for Geese and for Rugal. She's got poison, and with a striker like AG here, right, we actually have the inflict bleed damage equal to 40% of attack to all enemies for 1 second for 10 seconds, guys. 10 seconds. So we're going to have bleed and poison from Chun-Li's third skill all applied at once so we can break this meter super, super fast. We're going to use Rio's leadership, and I'm going to show you guys using a Street Fighter team how well you can do if you're just mainly using Luke as a damage dealer. And again, guys, he has no capsules. Rio is not going to be doing that much damage because every time we use him, the meter on Rugal isn't going to be broken, right? If the meter is broken, we would do some damage, right? Rio's just there to use his 3PG and delay the timer. And I'm going to show you guys a trick in here. Actually, I believe it's a bug, but you can take advantage if you want to right now. So watch how I play this, all right? So we're going to start off with Rio here. We're just going to run through his skills to try to build up a little PG at first. Okay, and Chun-Li, of course, I got the Serena set on so we can build up that 3PG. We have the poison applied. We got the bleed applied from AG's striker bonus. And we're going to make sure I hit our second skill, our third skill. And booyah. And this is how you have to play. This is how you have to play this character, guys. Now, what's going to happen here is Rugal's going to get ready to do his explosion. So let me show you something that's pretty cool. When he does his explosion and stuns you, you can switch your character. Just like that, right? Just like that. You can switch your character and avoid taking any damage at all. You got to time it right, but it can be done. So not having a shield against Rugal, at least for the moment, isn't really a big deal, right? It isn't a big deal, right? Then we bring in back Chun-Li. We apply some poison. We apply the bleed from AG's striker bonus. We're going to apply poison again. And then we just start running through Luke's skills. Now, Luke has a decreased skill cooldown from the striker bonus with Chun-Li, okay? We're going to do our 3PG, and we're going to do the same thing we did a second ago. Rugal's going to blow up, and we're going to switch our character when we get some. Right before Rugal does his explosion, we're going to switch our character. See how that works? Perfect, perfect, right? And you can do this, no problem with Rugal. Against Geese, it's a totally different story. But against Rugal, you can actually do pretty well by using this method, right? You do have to be careful though. If Rugal goes into an iframe, he kind of hunches over. If he goes into an iframe, make sure that you don't try to apply any kind of dot because the dot will miss. Now we're going to do our default here because we actually have some time. Increase our attack. Another thing that's nice about Luke is because he has that decreased skill cooldown for his ultimate move, on his first skill, we can actually speed up doing his 3PG. Which is actually pretty damn cool. Rugal's going to blow up. And booyah. And it works like a champ, guys. Honestly, the Street Fighter team does super well. And just imagine if I had all these characters maxed out. Right? And you, by the way, you could do the same method with Ryu as a damage dealer, right? You could be using Ryu instead of Luke if you wanted to. I mean, it's pretty wild how much damage we're doing. And if my Chun-Li striker was developed and had more CP, we would be doing even more damage. If I had capsules on Luke, we would be doing even more damage, guys. I mean, this is not a very good build. I mean, it's pretty awesome, guys. Honestly, we're going to be able to get one key, no problem, and get our max rewards from this game mode. And like I said, this is the game mode where you can actually get BS and SS memories from here. You can level up Luke or Bison through this game mode. Oh yeah, let's go. Okay. Right? I mean, we're getting it done, guys. We're getting it done. Right? And believe me, if I had him leveled up, we would do so much more damage. We really would. But as you guys can see, I'm not taking any damage, right? If you time that explosion right, and you time switching in your character, you won't take any damage when you're playing against Rugal. Like right there, Rugal went into an iframe, so you gotta be really careful when you're applying your dot. Make sure that he's out of his iframe before you try to apply dot, because you're not gonna apply it if he goes into that iframe. But as you guys can see, like you don't run through your skills as fast as say like other characters, which is, it's kind of a bummer, right? Because he has long cooldowns on his skills. He does have the resets, which definitely help, but because he has long cooldowns on his skills, it's hard to run through his skills super fast. Right? We're just using Ryu here for his 3PG. And again, guys, you could reverse roles here. You could use Ryu as your damage dealer and use Luke for his long 3PG. Right? You could do it either way. Right? And old Chun-Li, man, getting it done, my friends. Pretty awesome. Oh, yeah. And you guys can see there's a solid pattern to what I'm doing. It's not too difficult at all once you get the hang of it. I mean, we're doing pretty awesome. I don't want to finish this, though, because, you know, obviously I got to max out Rugal, and I can get a much better score with him. But, I mean, guys, we've already got one key. We've already done one key with old Luke. I mean, it's pretty cool that it's a total team effort from these guys. Oh, yeah. I mean, we already got 1.3 billion. And Luke is the one doing the damage, guys. I mean, Chun-Li's breaking the meter, but Luke is the one doing the damage in this run. All right, here we go, here we go. Booyah. Always going to the 3PG before Rugal comes out of the meter being broken, comes out of being stunned. And the pattern will remain the same the whole time. Piece of cake, right? Ryu doesn't have a shield either, by the way. So against Rugal, this method works out pretty good because you can always dodge or switch your character at the right time. So that way, you don't take any damage. And remember, guys, with the Street Fighter team, you get an extra increased attack by 10% when their HP is above 70%. So whenever you're doing this, you can actually keep their HP above 70% the whole time. I mean, Luke here hasn't taken any damage at all throughout this entire run. Right? He hasn't taken any damage at all. Okay. It requires some careful timing, guys, and it does require some practice, but you can absolutely do very, very well against Rugal as long as you're timing your switching. I mean, 1.7 billion, right? With an A2 character, a character that you can farm for through Guild Raid, which is pretty lit. So, I mean, 1.8 billion, guys. I want to get out of there because I can get a better score. I'm in competition with some of my other guild members. But that's pretty insane, guys. I actually got 2 billion using this team last night on Discord when I was playing. And it looks like we have a bit of a freeze, so I'll be right back. So, I mean, this is a quality character. I mean, they've done a lot of nice things for Luke and especially Bison because in the Chun-Li event, if you get more of these nostalgia Chun-Li memories, you get 3 of them, you can actually get a memory for Luke. You can actually also get memories for Luke by chance, guys. It's RNG based by clicking on memory here, hitting combine, which my face is in front of, and you can actually combine memories and also have a chance of getting Luke from here as well, and from Guild Raid, as long as you're playing on Infernal, right? So there's multiple ways to have a chance of being able to get this character, which is, it's pretty awesome, guys. And he's a super amazing character to begin with. But for time attack, he's going to be number one. He is the number one character. You can absolutely use him as a damage dealer, or even use him just as a striker as far as using Starlight for Lunatic in guild raids. So guys, let me know what you think about Luke. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, y'all. Take care and have a good one. See you, everybody.